Onna, known as the slit-mouthed woman, is a chilling Japanese urban legend about a disfigured woman who preys on children. Her grotesque appearance is defined by an enormous slit mouth, stretching from ear to ear, forming a ghastly, permanent smile. Clad in a surgical mask and brandishing large scissors, she roams the streets of Japan, hunting for her next victim. Imagine this. You're walking home from school, and your path leads you down a deserted city street. The sun is setting, casting long shadows across the pavement. Suddenly, you hear a faint rustling sound. Your heart quickens as you glance around, trying to identify the source. Then, from the dim shadows, a figure emerges. It's a woman with long, flowing black hair wearing a beige trench coat. The lower half of her face is obscured by a surgical mask, which is not uncommon in Japan during flu season. She steps into your path, blocking your way. Her eyes are piercing as she looks at you. "Am I beautiful?" she asks, her voice soft yet unsettling. Before you can respond, she rips off the mask, unveiling a horrifying sight. Her mouth is grotesquely slit from ear to ear, revealing rows of sharp, jagged teeth. A big, red tongue twists and twirls within her gaping maw. "Am I beautiful now?" she screams, her voice echoing in the deserted street. You stand there, paralyzed by fear, struggling to find the right words. If you say no, she will pull out her enormous scissors and decapitate you on the spot. If you say yes, she will use those same scissors to slice your mouth from ear to ear, condemning you to share her hideous fate. Attempting to run is futile. She will chase you down and slice you in two. The only way to escape the slit-mouthed woman is to give a non-committal answer. Say you look average or you look normal, and she will pause, confused. This moment of hesitation is your chance to flee to safety. But who is this terrifying specter, and how did she come to be? Legends abound regarding Onna's origin. Some whisper that her disfigurement resulted from botched plastic surgery. Others claim she was maimed in a horrific car accident. Yet another tale describes her as an escaped mental patient who mutilated her own face. The most popular story tells of a beautiful woman in ancient Japan, whose vanity and self-absorption knew no bounds. Her husband, a jealous and violent man, suspected her of infidelity. In a fit of rage, he took a sword and slashed her mouth from ear to ear, screaming, "Who will think you're beautiful now?" The woman died, but her vengeful spirit lingered, donning a surgical mask to conceal her gruesome scars. The reign of terror began in earnest in the spring and summer of 1979. Sightings of Onna spread like wildfire across Japan. Children were particularly at risk, and the fear was so pervasive that police increased patrols and schools arranged for teachers to escort students home. The legend even crossed borders. In 2004, South Korea reported incidents of a red-masked woman chasing children. In 2007, a coroner in Japan unearthed records from the late 1970s about a woman who was hit by a car while chasing children. Her mouth had been ripped from ear to ear, eerily matching the legend of Onna. Even across the ocean, the tale has taken root. In the USA, whispers circulate about a sinister clown haunting public bathrooms. He allegedly confronts children, asking, "Do you want death or a happy smile?" If they choose the latter, he pulls out a knife and carves their mouths into a gruesome smile, reminiscent of the Japanese legend. Onna remains a haunting figure, a chilling reminder of how legends can cross cultures and generations, perpetuating fear and fascination in equal measure. Hanako-san is a spine-chilling Japanese urban legend about the ghost of a young girl who haunts school toilets. Known to open and close doors, she terrifies anyone who dares to enter the bathroom, knock on her stall, and call her name. Imagine the scene. It's late afternoon, and the school is eerily quiet. Most of the students have gone home, but you find yourself needing to use the bathroom before leaving. You step into the dimly lit corridor door that leads to the restrooms. The silence is almost deafening, broken only by the distant hum of the janitor's vacuum cleaner. You push open the bathroom door, and the hinges creak ominously. The room is empty, the air thick with an unexplainable chill. You walk past the sinks and mirrors, your footsteps echoing off the tiled walls. As you approach the last stall, you remember the stories, the ones that sent shivers down your spine during recess. With a mix of fear and curiosity, you knock on the stall door 3 times and whisper, "Hanako-san, are you there?" For a moment, nothing happens. You release a breath you didn't realize you were holding. But then, the door slowly creaks open, revealing a dark, empty stall. Just as you start to relax, a faint, ghostly giggle echoes through the bathroom. Your heart races, and you turn to leave, but the door slams shut behind you. You feel a cold breath on your neck and hear a soft whisper, "I'm here." Hanako-san's tale became a national phenomenon in Japan nearly 20 years ago. Stories of her ghostly presence swept through schoolyards across the nation, each one more terrifying than the last. Every child had their own Hanako story, and it became a rite of passage to face the dread of entering the school bathroom alone, hoping to avoid an encounter with the ghost in the toilet. But Hanako-san is not alone in the haunted halls of Japanese schools. There's also the legend of Kashima Reiko, a ghostly figure without legs who haunts school bathrooms. When someone enters, she calls out, "Where are my legs?" The correct response varies, but one version requires you to say, "Kashima Reiko ka came in mask, she shine in dead person, mama demon." Another ghostly presence is Aoi Manto, also known as aka Manto, Aoi Hanton, aka Kami, and Aoi Kami. This male ghost lurks in the last stall of the girls' bathroom. If you enter, you'll hear a chilling voice asking, "Which do you prefer, the red paper or the blue paper?" If you choose red, he will kill you by slashing your back or neck repeatedly with a blade, making it appear as if you're wearing a red cape. If you choose blue, he will kill you by hanging. Hanako-san, Kashima Reiko, and Aoi Manto are not just stories, they are whispers of the supernatural that linger in the minds of those who dare to venture into the haunted school bathrooms. Sadako Yamamura, the ghost girl from the Ring movies, haunts our nightmares through a cursed videotape. Her story is rooted in the eerie tale of a real girl named Sadako, a psychic who lived in Japan in the early 1900s. Her extraordinary psychic ability allowed her to project words and images onto film, a phenomenon known as nensha or lithography. Picture this. In her early years, Sadako was a melancholy and withdrawn child. She seldom spoke, never played with other children, and spent most of her time alone, enveloped in an aura of sadness and mystery. Her mother, also a psychic, collaborated with a researcher named Dr. Fukurai, conducting experiments to explore their abilities. However, when Dr. Fukurai published their findings, the scientific community harshly accused Sadako's mother of fraud. The relentless criticism drove her to despair, ultimately leading her to take her own life. Sadako was shattered by her mother's death and retreated to a remote island with her father. As she grew older, she began to exhibit her own psychic powers. When her father discovered her abilities, he took her to Dr. Fukurai in Tokyo. In the dimly lit lab of Dr. Fukurai, the doctor forced Sadako to participate in countless experiments, compelling her to project images and words onto photographic film. These lithographs baffled scientists. No one could explain how they were created. Despite her reluctance, Sadako produced numerous lithographs under Dr. Fukurai's watchful eye. Dr. Fukurai, eager to publish another book, saw in Sadako the key to proving his theories. However, haunted by her mother's fate, Sadako refused to participate any longer. She declared she would leave and never return. The tale takes a darker turn here. No one knows exactly what happened next. Whispers suggest that Dr. Fukurai, desperate and enraged, lured Sadako into the woods near the hospital. Under the cover of darkness, he strangled her and threw her body into a nearby well, sealing it with large rocks to keep her hidden forever. But Sadako was not dead. She woke up, trapped in the cold, damp well. Desperately, she tried to escape, clawing at the walls until her nails and fingertips broke off. For 7 agonizing days, she struggled, her heart filling with hatred and despair. Finally, she succumbed to her fate, dying in the well with a burning desire for revenge. Her death marked the birth of a terrible curse. Sadako's rage, combined with her psychic powers, created a sinister curse. This malevolent energy was projected onto a mysterious, unmarked videotape. Those who watched the tape were confronted by inexplicable, horrifying images, culminating in a vision of Sadako herself. The cursed videotape. Sadako appears as a shadowy figure, a young woman dressed in a white gown with her face obscured by long, black hair. The sight of her is chilling, her presence almost palpable. Legend has it that anyone who watches the videotape will die within 7 days, a horrific death mirroring the torment Sadako endured. The only way to escape the curse is to make a copy of the videotape and pass it on to someone else, thereby spreading the terror. The curse perpetuates itself, a relentless cycle of horror born from Sadako's vengeful spirit. Sadako Yamamura's story is a haunting reminder of the power of unresolved rage and the dark side of human nature. Her tragic tale, rooted in sorrow and injustice, continues to captivate and terrify, a chilling testament to the enduring power of a ghostly legend. Tomino is a Japanese urban legend shrouded in mystery and fear, revolving around a poem said to bring death to anyone who recites it aloud. In this world, there are things better left unsaid, and Tomino's hell is one such taboo. According to the legend, reading this poem out loud invites disaster. At best, you might fall ill or suffer an injury. At worst, you could meet a fatal end. Imagine this. In the dim glow of your room, curiosity gets the better of you. You search online and find the infamous poem Tomino's Hell. There's a video where the poem is read aloud in Japanese, but you notice the voice is mechanical. The creator used text-to-speech software, too afraid to recite it themselves. Intrigued yet apprehensive, you stumble upon an English translation of the poem. A chilling uncertainty washes over you. No one knows if it's safe to read the translation out loud. If you were wise, you'd heed the warnings and avoid testing fate. A haunting testimonial. One person recounted their harrowing experience. I once read Tomino's Hell on the air for an online radio show called Radio Urban Legends. At first, everything was normal, but gradually, my body began to feel heavy. And it became difficult to continue. I managed to read half of it before I broke down and discarded the poem. 2 days later, I suffered an injury that required 7 stitches. I don't want to believe it was because of the poem. The legend of Tomino's Hell persists, a cautionary tale about the dangers of curiosity and the unseen forces that might be invoked through words. Whether the poem's curse is real or just a product of collective fear, it continues to haunt those who dare to engage with it. The line between superstition and reality blurs, leaving a chilling reminder of the power words can hold. Teke is a chilling Japanese urban legend about a girl who met a gruesome fate and now haunts Japan, her ghost dragging her severed upper half using her claw-like hands. Each time she moves, she makes a spine-chilling teek-teek sound. It's evening, and a young boy is leaving his school, the shadows lengthening as dusk approaches. The air is still, and the only sounds are the distant chirps of crickets. As he walks down the empty hallway, he suddenly hears a noise behind him. Curiosity piqued, he turns around and sees a beautiful girl sitting at a window, her arms propped up on the sill, staring intently at him. He's puzzled. This is an all-boys school, and she doesn't belong here. The girl catches his gaze and smiles, a smile that sends a shiver down his spine. She wraps her arms around herself, holding her elbows. In a terrifying instant, she leaps from the window, landing on the ground below with a sickening thud. The boy's blood runs cold as he realizes she is missing the lower half of her body. The girl begins to claw her way towards him, her movements quick and unnervingly fluid. The teke-tek-tek-tek sound of her elbows hitting the ground echoes in the boy's ears, paralyzing him with fear. He wants to run, to scream, but his legs refuse to move. Within moments, she is upon him. She reaches into the shadows and pulls out a scythe, slashing him in half, leaving him to share her gruesome fate. The legend of Teke is one of horror and a grim warning. When kids share this story, they caution each other about the ghostly figure. Teke is said to carry a sharp saw or scythe, and if she catches you, she will cut you in half, condemning you to become just like her. The sound of her pursuit, the eerie Teke, is a harbinger of doom. She is known to chase children who linger outside at dusk, her presence marked by the chilling noise of her elbows striking the ground. She is also called Bada Bada, another name derived from the sound she makes while running on her elbows, or the girl that runs on her elbows. The tale of Teke remains a haunting reminder of the dangers that lurk in the shadows. Her story, passed down through generations, continues to terrify and fascinate, a testament to the power of urban legends. The sound of Teke is enough to send shivers down anyone's spine, a ghostly echo of a tragic past.